Good evening. A cul-de-sac, a dead end. I can go no further. The people of the Lord, just after being miraculously saved from Egypt, find themselves in a dead end. In front of them, the Red Sea. On either side of them, the desert. Behind them, the mighty army of the Pharaoh, with its chariots manned not only by 2 but by 3 men. Israel had no military weapons or experience. Men, women, children, and animals are part of this hopeless and helpless group of people. We read from Exodus 14, verse 10 to 16. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up, and there were the Egyptians marching after them. They were terrified and cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, "Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? Didn't we say to you in Egypt, 'Leave us alone, let us serve the Egyptians'? It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the desert." Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance of the Lord will bring over you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." And then the Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the waters, so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground." Israel's response must surely be expected. After all, they react just like an ordinary human being like me when we get into a crisis. We get scared. We forget about the Lord's salvation early in our lives, and we get trapped in a problem. We see no way out, and then we usually want to turn around and go back to the past. Even if the past, like Israel, was full of tribulation and slavery, at least the past is known. It is in these moments that Moses calls the people to faith. In several commands, he calls on the people to do more or less nothing. Do not be afraid. Stand firm. Look. Stay calm. These are difficult assignments because they require you to be a spectator of what the Lord is going to do. It requires faith, not in your own abilities, but in the Lord who possesses all power and might, and who has entered into a relationship with you through Christ. The Lord, almost amazed at the unbelief of the people, gives an active command to the people to move on, to walk by faith into the dead end, the Red Sea. And then, when Moses stretches out his hand with the staff over the sea, the same dead-end street becomes the unexpected path through which the Israelites would be redeemed forever from the power of the Egyptians. In His almighty power, by His grace, He saves the Israelites while they are just watching and continue walking in the faith. It would be the story of the Almighty God who, by grace, saves people through faith alone. Our salvation did not come otherwise. I believe in the miracle of Jesus Christ, who saved this sinner from the powerless situation, from the dead end of sin. And now, We who walk by faith, worked through the Holy Spirit, can continue in the crisis of today. We can stop being afraid. We can stand still, watch, and stay calm. We can face the crisis of today in the trust, in the expectation that God will open the way through this dead end. Even death is no longer a dead end, but a passage to eternal life. Good night.